It's up to them, like you said. And like I always say, I don't know who hear me. I don't know who actually listening to me. But whenever I open up my mouth, somebody needs to hear what I gotta say. And another thing, if I did not think that I was helpful towards people by the spirit wise, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. I would not take the time out and come on my live stream. I would not take the time out and come on TikTok if I felt like my message was worthless. I don't even put myself in that category. You know, mainly when you know who you serve. You got to stand firm on who you serve. I see it now. You got to stand firm. I don't do it because what I'm saying, I'm trying to throw a positive message out, but then I'm throwing a twist in with it. Like I'm saying certain things, but I doubt if you're going to really, no, come on. That's not how we roll, bro. That's not how we roll. So when I talk about having 33 years clean, right, from all that bull crap, that's to give somebody else a sense of hope that's stuck somewhere. When I sit back and I talk about being in a relationship, I'm the one that stepped outside my marriage, not them. If they did, that's their business. See, I'm owning up to my stuff to help other men to understand how important it is, and women too, if it boils down to it, to own up to your own responsibilities. That's all you're doing. That's all we're doing when we talk. Yeah, everybody ain't going to take the message, and that's fine. But I guarantee you, something happened along the line that they'll reflect back on this. Yeah, I remember when OG was on there talking about this. OG was talking about that. Because it might not kick straight in. It didn't kick straight in for me when I first got clean. But I took the suggestions that they told me. It was only suggestions. Sit on the front row. Take the cotton out your ears. Put it in your mouth. If we want to know where the cop, we'll ask you. That's all I knew was what was going on outside. But then when I went to raise my hand, it was the old timers that looked at me like, hey, because they knew I was new. So the goal with all of that is we need to listen to learn and learn to listen. So these are things, man, that for us that's in a program like this or living a life like this is to help people understand that whatever that's ruining your life got you backed up against the wall. You can become a better, productive human being. But sometimes it takes the village. That's not sometimes, it's all the time. It takes the village and coming together to help people gain a life that's worth living, or a new way of life. That's my message anytime I share. You can change the quality of your life and become a productive member of society. You got to want it. You got to want it. A lot of times I don't know who want the help or not. Come on, OG.
I'm just talking to my best friend for a minute. But I mean, I understand what you're saying. So, you know, I tell everybody that I have 37 years clean. And when people ask me how I do it, I just tell them the truth. Take the suggestions. Shut up. Take the cotton out your mouth, or out your ears, put it in your mouth, and listen. Because there may be something in that story you may need to hear. So I was also taught that same way. When I first came in, I had a bunch of questions myself. Oh, no, sir. You didn't ask questions, you listened. And then after the lesson, you can ask your questions. But don't ever stop someone talking. Ask. I learned my lesson about that one. I accidentally interrupted the table for a minute, and because I had a problem. I had a problem with this guy's story because he kept changing his story every week, and I'm like, I'm getting ready, I want to call him out. This is what I really want to do. Nobody else is paying attention to this man, but I am. I'm paying close attention to him. I'm listening to him, and it seems like every week he comes in and he tells a different story. You see what I'm saying? He switches up the things that he do during that week or whatever. He always twists it around some way where it's thinkable that he would do that, but in reality, he ain't doing it. So I actually talked to my sponsor about it, and I asked my sponsor, I said, look, I think I caught, matter of fact, I don't think I caught, but I said, but what's the policies of almost like, I don't know how to put that, right? I think I asked him, I said, how do you tell a real story from a fictional story? And he told me the fictional story always gets changed, but the straight and narrow version of him will never change. So I told my sponsor, I said, well, there's a guy at a meeting that's been doing that. Nobody's catching it, but I seem to catch it. I want to front him about it, but then I don't want to make the young man look bad either. So my sponsor went to his sponsor and told his sponsor what was going on. Under anonymity, he went and talked to the guy's sponsor and told the guy what was going on with his sponsee. And he took care of it. So now the next time he kept coming, he started to keep his story straight and honest and this, that, and the other. Because, how are you going to play with your recovery if you're going to keep switching up your story? So he changed up without me being named. That's probably one of the worst things I've had to do, bro, in recovery. But probably one of the better things that I'm proud of, if you get the meaning of it.
Yeah, I'm trying to watch it just in case he's probably listening. But I've been knowing this guy for like 30 years. I watched him come in, go out, come in, go out. And I started complaining. And this lady said to me, because he was like a runner, she said, the point is, no matter how many times they run in, run out, do what they do, is to welcome them back anyway. It took me away from that. Some people is not going to get this overnight. A lot of times when people open up their mouth to talk, they will say stuff that sounds good. A lot of people have a tendency of glorifying their using. That's not how I do. I will give you a little bit of what I used to do, and then I go right into the recovery process. The reason why I watch people do 15 minutes, 45 minutes and talk about their whole game. So basically that's a drug law. I gotta watch it for TikTok. They will share that type of story, and then they would give about 5 minutes of the recovery process. Now, what I learned in the NA program anyway, right? In order for me to have some experience to share, I had to go back clean, experience some stuff, learn from it, then come share with people what they can do to come up out of it and stay out of it a day at a time. That's the way I was raised in recovery. And that's how I do it now. You know, I share my experience, my strengths and my hopes. Everybody is not really open when it comes to being deep and personal about whatever, you know. But yeah, I felt you with that because you took me back to, I said something to my sponsor about somebody like that. And my sponsor pointed out to me, I don't know if you're telling the truth or not. The point is, just believe that what you're saying is true, because I don't know. And I stopped doing it. I stopped doing it because I don't know. It's like I wasn't with you when you was doing what you was doing. So I don't know if you fabricating. I don't know if you really telling the truth. But when they open up their mouths, I was told to just hear the message because there's truth within it, even if that person not being truthful, right? So over the years, man, when you in this process and you meeting people and you hear how people share their stories, right? It's guys that been in NA before I came here. And when they open up their mouth, they share the same stuff. And I can mimic them. I can mimic them because you only can give back what you have. Then you'll go into a process. I'm talking about like what you used to do and what you're doing now. Then you'll go into that process of recovery to help people understand I am not doing these things no more. You know, this is what helped me change that. So, like I said, I didn't understand a lot of that, but I watch what you do. Even most of the guys that I sponsor, I'm going to say this, they are deacons, they're ministers, they're business owners. They do not come to NA like they used to. The only thing I started telling them as they begin to move away and venturing into other places was don't ever forget where you came from. And that was the program that helped balance them out.
You know what? I still think of that too, bro. Even though I haven't been active in a meeting in over almost 15 years, I'm still able to stay clean. See what I'm saying? And that's only by the blessings of God that I'm doing that anyway. He's been had me in that direction, so I'm okay today.
Mm-hmm. Some people, OG, that came in and really got deep into the program, after some years, they just accepted the fact that they can never use again what they used to do, and a day at a time now, and understanding changing people, places, and things, and all that.
Sometimes it's a second at a time. Sometimes it's a millisecond at a time, dude, for some people. I mean, you know, it depends on how bad their recovery is and how much they want it and how much they're fighting for it. So, yeah, sometimes it's only, for me, it was day by day, second by second, moment by moment. Because I wasn't for sure if I was going to stay.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But I was already in 120 days and 90 days of meetings. All right, so that let people know that I'm a sponge. I want whatever you guys have, and I'm doing it for myself. I'm not doing it for nobody else. So now I'm starting to open my eyes more. I'm starting to see what people are talking about recovery. Because recovery to me, it didn't sound right.
Right.
It didn't seem like I was supposed to be there at that point, present in time. No. I mean, and it felt odd. But then I'll go back the next week. Everything is all cool. You know, everybody's hugging, this, that, and the other. And you know what? I'm not even complaining about it. Most of them have their own little cliques. They already do what they're doing. And then they leave the outsiders out. So I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I can be treated as an outsider, or I can be treated as family. Either way it go, I'm not here for neither one of y'all. I'm here for my recovery. So, I mean, I've had to do that.
And you know, I've been there with all of that. I wasn't my journey was basically more spiritual. So I didn't go to a lot of the dances. I didn't go to a lot of the boat trips here and there. I would go, but I didn't go on average like a lot of people. I used to travel from city to city.
You know what? You know how many? I think I've been to. I was at the first Dagna in Detroit. I was at the one in Kalamazoo, the one in Lansing, and then the one again downtown Detroit. So, but I had them are the only conventions I've been to. I've never been anywhere else. No dances, no cruises, no nothing, brother, because I wasn't in for that. I was in for recovery.
Right. And I know people, when I look at a lot of the NA people on Facebook, when they post stuff, I'm just proud of them, man, because I look at a lot of them, and I remember when we all came around, we might have had children, but they're all grown now. They grown, and most of them have children. And we don't do nothing but sit back and laugh, man, because we are grown now. Grown people with grandchildren. So I see the growth, you know, that come with that. But I love watching a lot of them that I grew up in this process with, how they still go to breakfast, they go to lunch, they go to dinner, they have cookouts, they have stuff in the parks, they do this, they do that, they do. They fellowshipping. That's the same with the church, you know. So I love seeing all of that, the fellowshipping and stuff like that, because that's your spiritual connection in certain cases. That's why I had to tell my sponsees, never, the ones that I begin to see winging away, forget where you came from. So it's like if that desire or something like that kick up to use again, or you feel like you getting too stressed over life, come and sit at a meeting. Come around people that, you know, that can better relate to you. You ain't got to say nothing. It's just that bond. So, you know, I still share that all of that, man, to this day. Just like somebody called me and said, Steve, can you come over such and such and such and do the fourth step or fifth step, something like that? Sure. You know, they know when I come, they know I'm about recovery. They know I don't play. I'm not going to give you a drug law or a smug law. My journey is based around spirituality. So the goal is to help you either way to grow spiritually. And if it's a group of newcomers in there, right?
Yeah.
And they sitting a little bit towards the back, I'll tell whoever's sitting on the front row, matter of fact, I'll tell them move closer up. Because normally when they say, if this your first time being here, raise your hand. And I see a lot of them like in towards the back or something like that, I tell them come up front. Come as close as they can to the front. Because that's the same way they told us. Sit on the front row, take the cotton out your ears, put it in your mouth. Now you know you got newcomers. The front rows are mainly set up for them. You got clean time or you already know about the program. Why are you not educating them on that? So I have to focus on, no matter what, how I was raised through this process to help others. You know, so that's where I'm at, bro. That's where I'm at. That's why this as a black man, I don't hate women. What happened? I don't hate.
Nothing.
Yeah, I see now. I see, because I'm reading off this other prompt. I don't hate women.
I got you.
And I was raised by a strong black woman, beautiful queen. And that took me back to where my mother said men take care of their responsibilities. So down the bottom, the prompt talks about love, not hate, respect. Now I'm trying to, I got my readers on, but I'm trying to get it. We'll just say respect women. Then it said, never, let me make sure. What? Never.
Honor your mother.
Yeah, honor your mother. Come on.
And break the cycle. Break the cycle.
Right.
And raise above the pain.
Right. And see, that's the things that we have to encourage, empower, and motivate people on. Thank you, OG. And see, we forget just to talk about the strengths and the courage and the power within us. And you only want to give back what's in you to others to help turn their lives around. If you know the ones that's struggling. That was one of the conversations we had on Kids platform. And it's like people make stuff real complicated. If a man do not want a child, but you enjoy having sex, but you do not want a child, strap up. Strap up. Even if the woman says something about, I got my this tied, that tied, whatever. To protect yourself, strap up. Because if they end up getting pregnant by you and tell you, don't get mad, because you went in there raw. And I was listening to them justifying so much stuff. And point blank, as a man, I don't care for the balloon things. But if I know she don't want me to go in her without it, I'm going to wear it. I'm going to wear it. So I'm talking about from a male's perspective. I'm not looking at her, well, she shouldn't have this, she shouldn't have that, she shouldn't have, should have. No. Once things are clear and you already know what's what with you or even her, if you do not want to become a father, strap it up. Protect yourself. And I said some other stuff too. It might not just be the person getting pregnant. They could have something. Transferring the disease. So I'm listening to people and how they justifying it for a one-sided thing. I'm like, no. What's wrong with y'all? Well, it's his fault because he shouldn't have, could have, would have. No, you let him in. And then if you know he the type of man that already might have children, but he's not taking care of his responsibilities, why would you have a baby by him? I don't get some of us. What you be thinking? I don't get it. But understand, each time you call yourself smexing around without protection, there's a good chance that person can get pregnant. There's a good chance that they might have something and it might transfer to you, or you might have something that'll transfer to them. But it was more like a one-sided thing. But then us older people was coming in and we was kind of cleaning it up. Then I noticed, because I had dropped, that it was a panel of young people that came up talking that rhetoric. And I was trying to tell Ted, they young. You can hear it in the conversation. Immature young people. And not being smart, it's a good thing when you're older and you live through certain things and you don't practice certain behaviors and you can see it and you can hear it from people that's younger. And I'm saying to myself, me and my children do not have conversations like this, and we talk. But it's just the stuff I hear here when it comes to TikTok. And I'm like, these aren't the conversations that I tend to have with people in real life. And before I left, I had to make it clear to them. I have a housing program. I mainly work with women. A lot of the stuff y'all saying on here about single mothers with 4 or 5 more kids, whatever. No freaking way in the world. If they call me and ask me for help, I'm going to sit up there and say, you shouldn't have did this. You shouldn't have did that. No. Because their self-esteem is already low. They're already in the gutter. The only thing they want to do is put a decent roof over their head with their children and be able to provide for them because the man is not there to help them. I see it all the time. And people up there wanting to argue about stuff you really don't even understand. And that's when I made that statement and I said I had to drop because it was time for me to come over here. I get sick and tired of hearing the rhetoric. That's why I don't let a lot of people up here. Mainly if you're going to come up and think you're going to talk a bunch of crap. That's not what this is about. It's about helping people. It's about changing lives. It's about giving people a sense of hope. And then whatever city you in, if you're doing positive things within your city, talk about the programs. Talk about the organizations that's in your community that's actually doing it. To help people understand I'm not the only one that's doing this, that's doing that in Baltimore City. Even though y'all might hear me say, you hear me say, who else I'm going to say? Because number one, it's the power and the strength that God gave me, encouraged me. The same way he did with Moses. The same way he did with David. Anybody's story you read about, and it talks about how the power, and I'm going to say of the Spirit, because I do say Holy Spirit, right? How God came upon them. So when it talk about they saying certain things, right? It's the Holy Spirit that guided whomever, whether they wrote it or not. Somebody wrote their story. And it's your life story. It's a comparison there. So the goal, what I'm saying is, you already know what's wrong. You already do what is wrong. The goal is to learn from those mistakes to help better other people's lives, but you got to make sure you're straight first, because you can only give back to them the work that you've done on yourself. You can only feed others. That's why Steve Copeland do what he do. No matter what goes on in my life, when my spirit feeling down and out, I need rejuvenized by the Holy Spirit. Whether my children gonna build me up, faith gonna build me up, certain people, Unc right here, who gonna turn around and share some things to build back up my spirit. Because once I'm loaded, I'm going to fight again. And again, and again, and again. That's to help encourage and motivate and empower his people. where a lot of people feel as though because I'm not over here saying, and the Lord said, he ain't real. Keep fooling yourself. Keep fooling yourself. Keep playing with yourself. Keep playing with yourself. I know who guides me. I know who leads me. That's why I make prompts where we can talk if you want to talk. If you're going through stuff, say like you might be dealing with depression, right? You might be dealing with great issues that happened when you was 4, 5, 6, and they keep coming up today to haunt you. Certain things might have happened to you when you was 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. But now you're 50 or 60 and it's still coming up to haunt you today. The goal is to help you learn to deal with that because that's in your past. And if you haven't took the proper steps to heal yourself, yes, it's going to wear you down. And if you get into a new relationship and you bring all that garbage with you, you're going to make their lives miserable. Then you're going to feel like deep down in your spirit, that's the right thing to do, is to beat somebody else up mentally, emotionally, and spiritually for what you're suffering with. That's not true. You don't do that. You do not bring your garbage. You do not bring your baggage into a new relationship. That's being unhealthy. And if you know that other person have a lot of garbage from their stuff, and if you feel like they're going to take it and throw it at you, don't stay there too long. Once you recognize it, it takes a lot of strength and courage to get up and walk away. Even though my mother passed when I was 26, I look back at my mother. I look at how strong, powerful Black woman, raising 7 children by herself, by 7 different men. I don't remember none of them financially helping my mother to raise us. So look, when people talk, listen to the story. Because whatever happened back then, during my mother's time, is still happening now. Not to everybody. Not everybody's not being irresponsible, unhealthy. But the same stuff that happened during my mother's time, during my mother's father time, raising my aunt and them, during his father them time, look, this is traits. Traits passing down, being passed down. They only could give us what they had. But then somebody had to flip the switch. That's like when y'all hear me say that generational curse is broke. My children is, to me, they excellent in the way they live their lives. They're not without their struggles, but they're very, very independent young people, responsible and productive. That's the reason why I try to help others, because I see my own. When I look at my niece that I raised as 46, and she got 4 boys, and she basically raised them by herself. Then when I look at my other niece, she got 2. They in their 40s. When they was born, Uncle Steve was right there with them. So when I look at all of my sisters, 5 children, we was a family, the family together. So all of us took care of each other. But because I was the more responsible one, I'm the one that acted like I was a father to them all. Know their father. We all grew up together. But they wasn't a significant part of their lives. So Uncle Steve had to step in. And then mines came along. That's why I don't sit up here and just run off in my mouth. I can share a process. What's up, David? I can share things with y'all to let y'all know the transformation. You get me? People need to listen, and don't judge while you listening. Because each and every one of us have our own personal way of doing things. I'm just sitting back giving what was freely given to me. As a man of God, as a man that goes to a 12-step recovery program, and I understand the importance of spiritual growth, and that's all I'm saying. You got to go back inside of yourself. Rather it's Bible that's taking you there, rather it's other, I'm gonna say religious or spiritual material that's helping you to turn the quality of your life around. I'm gonna say it again. That's helping you to turn the quality of your life around. David Daniels just came up and called me a sucker. You are a sucker, Dr. David Daniel. And don't forget, I knew you before. That's my man. I knew you. Wait a minute, David. I knew you before your black butt became a little, got your doctorate degree. You still right there, David? I'm trying to see if I can bring you up.
I thought I was getting ready to have fun on the doctor.
David, a pastor, don't mess with pastor. David.
Mess with him.
No. I'm trying to see if I can invite him up. It say on stage. I'm trying to see if I can bring him up. Did you see the invite, David? No, that's my boy OG. Oh no, David. See, I used to call. I used
because you know why? You've been talking to David ever since you've been talking to me. So
yeah.
Come on now, bro. Give me a break. I'm just joking.
I've been knowing. Wait a minute. I've been knowing David, but I know every bit of 25 years because we both go to the same church. Shoot. But
25 or better.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons too, David, that I switched over to StreamYard. So once I'm better with inviting you up, that's what I'm gonna do so I can have you on the panel. So now I'll be able to invite, people up where we can talk like this. And it's basically, once again, like what me and OG do, what all of us do, it's empowering the community. To me, this is like ministry, family. This is the way God had me ministering to his people. And anytime OG open up his mouth and I open up my mouth, people hear us around the world. I already know that. I already know. That's why I don't get caught up in a lot of things like viewers and stuff like that, because I already know we being heard all over. Sometimes it makes me wonder, is TikTok blocking a lot of my stuff from getting out? But I feel like this. They want me to pay. I don't know how some people do it. When they got them 2,000, 3,000 viewers or something like that, they want me to pay to get that. I'm like, no, I won't. I did one time, but I'm like, no, I won't, because I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do to grow this platform. But I realize they doing everything they would like to do to block it. No different than what I went through on Facebook. And make me think don't nobody see what's going on. I already know they do. Because when they see me in the streets, they be like, Steve Copeland from the... I'm like, uh-huh. They like, I'll be watching you. I just don't like come on or stuff like that. I know they be in the background. I already know. A lot of them don't want people to know that they fellowship with Big Mouth Boy, Black Steve. Dude, Steve. I do the same stuff they do. It's just I come a different way with my mouth, which I'm trying to learn to be more.
So I'm the one that's cleaning up his mess that he done made. Get it right, brother.
Brother, I say that you ain't cleaning up my mess. You can't touch me. I be saying that for TikTok. Look, I be saying that for TikTok's sake.
Oh, that you know what? I'm just playing with you, bro.
No, I say that. Look, I say that for TikTok because look, you come back and he'll say stuff. I'm saying it and he'll say it, and I listen to other people too. It's like, God darn it, didn't I just say that? But it's like people don't get it. So I have to stop worrying about who gets the message and who don't. But when I hear people like OG, I know he hears me very clearly. When I hear other people like Elder that came on the other day, I know he hears me very clearly. And it's normally from a spiritual perspective. If you coming from your mind, you gonna miss Big Steve all the time. Already know. Already know. And be honest, I thought it was something wrong with me and the way I talk. But AI cleared it up for me too. Said, no, you have a tendency of sharing from a personal level of experience where a lot of people don't like to go. And you will shake feathers when you do that. Says sometimes what you got to do, mainly when it comes to scripture, I don't quote scripture, I live scripture. And it told me sometimes you might have to throw out a phrase for them to relate to your conversation. I was like, wow. Wow. Now, that goes to show you they talking about people that's super religious, who's so heavenly bound that they're no earthly good. When people say stuff like this, I'm in the world, but I'm not of the world. You're in the world and you participate with everything in the world just like everybody else. The house, the car, the clothes, the jewelry, the mistakes. But then you say, I'm in the world, but I'm not of the world. I'm like, huh? Because guess what? I can say it too. But then I realize I'm no different than anybody else. Even though I'm spiritual, I participate in just anything they do. When it comes to food, when it comes to, I haven't had smacks in a while, but when it comes to food, when it comes to lying, when it comes to manipulating, I realize I'm a human being just like them on this earth, and I'm no different and no better. I just choose not to do a lot of the stuff I used to do. See, a lot of that stuff sounds good. I try not to be a part of the world, but you driving around in cars and wearing outfits and all of that. Don't people of the world purchase those things too? I had to look at myself and be like, Steve, what is you saying? I'm even though I'm in the world, I ain't of the world. You're lying to yourself. That don't mean you have to overdo things that's in this world. Like some of us did, became obsessive and compulsive with stuff, tried to make outside stuff our gods. That will fly right over your head. Rather than relying on that higher power when you're going through certain things or you feeling bad about stuff, rather than relying on the Holy Spirit to comfort you, you might reach out for food. You might reach out for all this other stuff to put into place. I did that. So I had to learn. Stop being so quick to act out on this. Come on, Doc. Dr. Child. Dr. Coed, I'm sorry. Kai James. Dr. James. I can't hear you. All right. I'm gonna get ready to end this, family. Y'all know I normally try to hang in till 8 o'clock, but I'm gonna get ready to end it. All right. Baltimore City, I love y'all. I just feel like right now, it's time to end this. Sometimes when I do certain things, I look for people to come and participate and help move it forward. But what I start understanding in life, if it ain't full of chaos and confusion, they not gonna come. If it's not full of chaos and confusion, they not gonna come. If it's something that they can't argue about and debate you about, which makes them feel whole and complete. And I tell people, you never want to debate me. Why you gonna want to debate me and I'm sharing stuff with you that I done years and years and years ago? I'm not talking about doing it now. I'm talking about stuff that I've been through, I lived through, and I have overcame. A lot of us are stuck in those areas in the here and now. I'm sharing stuff to help you understand if you stuck in a place where I used to be, this is what Steve Copeland did to walk up out of it and stay up out of it a day at a time. I'm going to do it again. This is the steps that Steve took to walk up out of it and stay up out of it a day at a time. I'm just not going to talk and keep going around in circles like that. No. That's not how I run this platform. And it's not to be smart. I started saying I'm going to be nice. At one point, I would tell people, if you don't have no personal experience on certain things, right, don't come up. I don't care to hear your opinion. I don't care to hear what you think. I don't care to hear how you feel. Right? Mainly when we're talking about a serious topic or something, you get me? I think you should do this. I think you should do that. Or my aunt number. Because a person, be honest, in some cases, will better respect you when you tell them, I used to be there. These are the things that I was able to do to step up out of it and stay up out of it a day at a time. That's the recovery process. A lot of us like to stay stuck in the problem. That's not Steve Copeland. That's not how I raised my children. That's not how I raised my nieces and nephews. I became a foster care parent. How many men you know become a foster care parent? To help raise other people's children. See, so when I open up my mouth, right, and I say stuff like that, because I'm talking about what some of us black men truly do, y'all don't want to hear it. I already know it. Because you stuck on the ones that's not, in your mind, that's the Aunt Mo, no. No, you talking about Elder Aunt Mo? No, thank you, though. Thank you. No, be honest. See, that's the realness within us. Educated. I know. Look, when I was talking with Aunt Mo, right, I said, Aunt Mo, did you used to preach? He said, yeah, I used to preach, right? And something happened to him, educated, when he went from preaching to teaching. And I knew it. It wasn't until he had a personal experience. Now you hear the way I talk. That's the way Aunt Mo talk. And when I be on faith panel, sometimes educated, I think you be over there from time to time. sometimes I don't want to open up my mouth because I don't see Bible the way other people see it. And it comes to life for me. So that's why Aunt Mo, that's my boy. He was on here the other day, him and C Trey. We had a nice time over here. Educated, we had a nice time over here, right? But look, family. Yeah, that's why I said, because I thought I remember you know your name and everything. But Aunt Mo, I'm gonna tell you, I love the fact that Aunt Mo and I, it's basically spiritual educated. When I hear him talk, I connect with his spirit. And basically that's what I do with certain believers. Be honest, I don't want to judge nobody educated, but we can tell who's real and who's not. I guess that's the best way I could put it, right? Yeah. I am an ordained deacon, but in my heart educated and in my spirit, I'm a minister for Christ. But my work is in the community. I'm back out in the streets helping to turn lives around. So I had to create programs and all that type of stuff. And I'm not by myself, family, when I say it's other people that I work with, right? Like nonprofits, businesses and stuff like that to help our low to moderate income people. All right, educated. I'll see you around. I'll see you, Queen. Thanks for dropping in. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end this because sometimes I be spiritually pumped when I do certain things, and right now I just feel like the spirit is winding down. So I am going to go ahead and get ready to end this. Baltimore City. You know I love y'all, right? Y'all know this is the reason why Steve Copeland does what he do. This is my way of encouraging, empowering, and motivating our people. Now, when y'all hear me say I'm a community activist, I'm a community organizer, I'm a homeless advocate. Now, if I say I'm a civil rights advocate because I fight for our people, I'm going to say the Black race, civil rights, equal rights, and constitutional rights. If you hear me say I'm a human rights advocate, I'm with organizations that fight for people. It doesn't matter your culture. Civil rights, equal rights, and constitutional rights. I was going to become a member of the NAACP until I learned Black people ain't the only people that's suffering, that's struggling, that they created this system to enslave and oppress. This is the stuff they don't like for me to talk about. It's about breaking that cycle. Post-traumatic slavery syndrome. Please do your research, because you'll find out Black people ain't the only people that they brought into slavery. And then you'll find out that YT wasn't the only race of people that had slaves. It was Black slave owners too. When you dig deep into your history, you'll understand they ain't all YT. It's just that mindset for a lot of us. Now that my eyes are open and God allowing me to see stuff totally different now, I'm not in that box no more. So when y'all hear me say things like this too, once I was blind, but now I see. I'm not joking. Once I was lost, but now I'm found. I'm not joking. And if I didn't do the necessary work on me, I wouldn't know how to go back and help other people. A black man. Why I can't see the rest of this comment I wrote? As a black man, excuse me, I was trying to say this because me and OG was talking about it, right? As a black man, I don't hate women. I'm talking about black women, right? Because I was raised by a black, strong woman, beautiful queen. So whenever I come on, y'all, it's not for me to down women. It's not for me to talk bad about women. And no matter what I say out my mouth, it's like, hey, I don't care if you believe it or not, that's your bull crap. But I can tell you this. I have 4 daughters. Very, very, very independent women. I have 2 granddaughters. What the freak do I look like? Up here bashing women when I got women daughters. I love y'all. And I'm getting ready to end this one. Good night, family.